And we are live. What is up, guys? How is it going? You got Daisha here coming to you from Anaheim, North Dakota with another Daily Dose with Daisha. Now, in today's episode, I actually have a very special guest for you guys. Now, the reason why I say that it's a special guest is because he's actually just an average person, right? Average person like you, like me, but he's doing incredible things in the world to be able to help others. So with that being said, let's go ahead and bring him on here. Chris, thank you so much for being here today. Do you want to introduce yourself, where you're coming in from, and a little bit of what you do?
Wow, yeah, thank you so much for having me. Obviously, I'm Chris Greenfield, coming to you live from the UK, in Peterborough. So it's in the east of the UK. For those of you who don't know England that very much, but yeah.
Awesome. And what do you do?
So I'm a speaker. I'm a upcoming coach as well. So I'm literally bringing myself out to as much media as possible so that I can bring my message to everybody and share what I'm about to everybody. So
awesome.
That is literally.
Well, I love it. Well, I'm really glad that you're here with us, and it's really cool that you're actually coming on here kind of at the start of your journey, because 2-3 years down the road, when we go back and rewatch this video, it's going to be crazy at the point that you're going to be. So make sure you guys start saying hi as soon as you guys start jumping on. Let us know if you're coming on live or on the replay in the comments below. Angelina says, "Hey, Daisha, tuning in live from New York. Appreciate you being here with us, Angeline." So in today's video, we actually want to talk a little bit about adversity. So with that being said, again, drop a comment below and we'll be right back after. All right, and we are back. So Chris, the first one is just for those who don't know. So before I get into the definition, what exactly does adversity mean to you?
Adversity, it's a challenge, yet it's something that you have also been through in life. Throughout most of my adult life, I've been through adversity. No money, no job, no home. It could be personal problems as well. We all go through some form of adversity. It's a challenge in which we need to step up and face. To me, it's got such a wide meaning that I can talk about adversity in so many different spectrums, and it can have a spectrum from being so extreme to being so little. But I believe that it's the way you look at it. It's always the way you look at it, and this is what my message is about: is switching your perception to the adversity to actually look at the opportunity in which is presented to you.
I love that. Now, the Google definition, I want to go through that really quick here. So the Google definition of adversity is basically just a state or instance of serious or continued difficulty or misfortune, right? So like Chris is saying, it's like going through some type of struggle in your life. That could be a physical struggle. It could be a mental struggle. It could be a personal struggle with your family. Maybe you're homeless right now, like Chris was saying, and I've been at that point as well, right? But we got to be able to learn how to face that adversity. So the next thing that I want to talk about here, how do you feel that adversity is really the opportunity to an open window, right? Because when I heard you say this at first, I was kind of confused, but then I kind of started thinking about it and it made sense. So what does that saying mean to you?
Adversity being the opportunity. Well, it's all about how you think of it. So say you've got some anxiety, and I do suffer with a little bit of anxiety. I do have some anxiety within me. I think everybody does. But it's the state in which we keep ourselves in. And if we keep ourselves in the state of a low mood, negativity, feeling down, depressed, maybe feeling a little bit out of sorts, then you're going to keep getting that in your life. It's very much like the law of attraction. I'm not going to go into the law of attraction because that's just huge in itself. But it's all about doing. It's all about actually doing it for yourself, and actually understanding that the opportunity in which adversity is bringing you is how you're putting the opportunity out there to yourself and other people. So you've got to flip that adversity feeling to an excitement feeling. You've got to flip it to, actually, you know what? This adversity is actually bringing me the opportunity in which I want in my life.
Yeah, I love that a lot. And like you said, guys, like adversity is an opportunity, right? I say this all the time. Like our struggles, the problems that we're facing, they're actually opportunities, right? They wouldn't be presented to us unless it was for a reason. Tony Robbins says it all the time. Like life is happening for us, not to us. So when you can start kind of switching that perspective a little bit and thinking, I'm going through a struggle right now. I'm going through a problem right now. I'm facing adversity right now. What kind of benefit am I going to gain from this in the future? How can this actually help me become stronger over time instead of thinking of it as a bad thing, instead of thinking of it as, man, my life kind of sucks, right? It's actually a good thing. Evan says, good evening, Daisha and Chris. What is up, Evan? Thanks for jumping on here with us today.
Thank you.
With adversity, then, we're talking kind of about perspective. So I want to kind of get a little bit into this. So do you feel then that adversity itself, like the struggles that we go through, do you feel like that can actually influence us to change our perspective on life?
I believe it can. I believe it can. Because especially in my experience when, oh blimey, I was going from house to house to house. I was in this constant pattern of, well, I'm moving here. This is only going to be temporary. But I'm moving here and that's going to be temporary too. And I had that temporary way of thinking instead of the permanent way of thinking, right? Permanent way of the opportunity instead of the temporary way of the opportunity. Let's talk about probably my experience of going through, before I've had some online hate going on. I've had some online, real bad online stuff go on, which literally whittled me down to the core of me. I didn't know who I was. I lost my identity. So that adversity made me step back and ground myself. And I think when you step back and ground yourself, you actually look within yourself and go, you know what? This is my opportunity to come back. And I made the decision to come back. I made the decision to actually say to myself, you know what? This is the opportunity that's being presented to me. So I need to face that and go forward. And it's going to take a lot of courage. It's going to take a lot of courage. There's going to be so many people that are going to probably keep damning your name. But at the end of the day, what you've got to remember, those people that do damn your name and those people that do say those things behind your back or aren't there for you, they're already below you. They are already below you. And that opportunity that you've got right in front of you, that maybe you think, oh no, maybe if I actually do this, something else is going to happen. If you stay in that state, that opportunity is never going to come to you. That opportunity is never going to come to you because I understand that through the adversity, it brings an open doorway for you to actually step through and take yourself to that next level.
And that's the thing. I think people need to understand, like, you have to go through the adversity to get to that next level, right? Like, there is no growth without going through the struggle. I'm going to say that again. There is no growth without going through the struggle, guys, right? So if you're wanting to have this better life than you have now, you're going to have to face some struggles. It's just the truth. And the sooner that you realize this and become aware of it, the easier that it's going to be for you. So one thing I wanted to say really quick, because we're talking about how kind of adversity can kind of affect your perspective on what's going on. Evan says, glad to be here, guys. Yes, it absolutely can. I agree, bro. So when I think of that, I think it can as well. And the reason I say this is really just going back to awareness, right? If people aren't very aware, then they kind of allow their life to control them instead of them controlling their life, right? I say it all the time on my videos, how we're only about 5% conscious throughout the day. The other 95% is all just run off of our subconscious mind. So if we aren't aware of what's going on, a lot of the times people will kind of put off this show, right? They try to put out that they're this like super successful person. I'm perfect, blah, 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 blah. But then when they start going through struggles, when they start going through adversity, they can no longer be able to do that, right? Because they're already using that extra energy to be able to kind of show off as this like specific perfect person when that's not who they are. When they start going through that struggles, now all of a sudden they have to worry about the struggles instead of trying to put on this persona, right? So it definitely can affect your perspective, guys. But really the biggest thing that you need to just understand is become aware of that, right? The way to be able to control something is to be able to become aware of it. Evan says, life is a balance between adversity an opportunity. I like that. It depends on where your mind is to determine it. That's a good one, bro. I like that.
That is good. That is very good. That's a good insight.
So we had talked a little bit on the phone, and well, kind of through voice messages, but you had said how in any dark situation, we can kind of feel ourselves out of that. What exactly does that mean?
Wow. So visualization. Visualization. That's a huge thing for me. Visualizing where you want to be. And actually, when I say fake it, it's not really faking it, because you're actually feeling where you're wanting to go and what you're
Right.
what you're wanting to do. And I believe that when you start to feel in that state of, I'm already in that place where I'm supposed to be, that opportunity comes to you. You know, it's much like this journey. I've already been on one podcast already. I've been invited to a few more. And my message was, and my mission was to myself, to get myself out and get my message out there to as many people as I possibly can. You know, give my free value out, because that's what I'm about. It's giving the free value. You know, I will put the truth out there. I will say things that people do not agree with. I'll say things that are very controversial, maybe things that people are so probably thinking like, what's he talking about? He's talking rubbish.
Right.
Then they'll think of the philosophy behind it, because I'm very, very philosophical. And I think people find I'm a little bit crazy because of it. But it's all about basically having that vision of what you want to do and feeling that vision. Right?
I see what you're saying.
It's not always about having vision boards. It is definitely what's in your mind.
Yeah.
It's definitely what's in your mind, but it's actually changing your inner DNA.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard that before.
Changing your inner DNA.
Thoughts,
I've been listening to a lot of Dr. Joe Dispenza recently as well, and he's really, really into, this is scientific, this is fact, like you can change your DNA. You can change.
Well, yeah, and that's like, our bodies are meant to heal ourselves, right? Our bodies are meant to heal ourselves. And when we're going through some type of mental struggle, it's called a dis-ease, right? It's because our bodies are not at ease. So when it's consistently trying to fix itself, right, what it's just going to do is it's going to adapt itself instead. So if you're consistently waking up every day and just feeling depressed and frustrated and saying, I'm not worth it, I suck as a person, what's going to happen is your body is going to change its own DNA to believe that. So now your core body's belief, it doesn't even have to be your conscious mind, your core body's belief has now switched its DNA to think that it has to have that depressed feeling to be okay, to be able to survive, guys. This is the type of stuff that he's talking about. It's insane. All right, Chris, you can continue on. I just had to say that. It's so cool.
That's exactly it. It's like, say when you're stressed and when you're maybe angry, you're feeling very like backed up, your body's going to go into a natural state. Serotonin is going to go into your body, and your glucose is going to go up. Yes, you're going to go into fight or flight mode, but you don't want to go into fight or flight mode when you're stressed. You want to take a step back. You want to actually go, you know what? I'm just going to leave it how it is. I'm going to let this go, and I'm actually going to be in this state where I know I deserve to be. Where I know I deserve to be. And where I'm going, because with the uncertainty comes the certainty. With uncertainty comes certainty. And I do listen to a lot of Tony Robbins. I'm not going to lie. You know, I know he says that, and he says it a lot, because uncertainty does bring certainty. But
and with the 6 human needs, you have to have both.
Yeah, and you have to put yourself into that state to actually bring yourself to that opportunity into which you want to happen.
Amen.
And that opportunity is only just that opportunity will come to you. It's a matter of when. It's just a matter of when. It's a matter of when it's ready. Like, you cannot force it.
Right.
You cannot force it. You can't force anything. And I've learned that through many different areas of life. And it's been tough. It has been tough.
I think it's cool that you kind of talk about how you've been through that, because then you like people can understand, like everybody goes through it, right? Like no matter who you are in life, you're gonna have to go through it, and it's gonna be hard, and that's okay. But really it comes down to having that awareness. When he's talking about like being able to feel your way out of that adversity, basically you just need to start becoming more aware of who you are. What are you feeling at this exact moment? And instead of trying to fall deeper into that depression, deeper into that frustration, like Chris said, take a step back, right? Take a step back, let go of everything, and look at it from a little bit of a different perspective. Because when you can start doing that, boom, all of a sudden visualization starts, right? You can start focusing on what you do want instead of all the things that you don't want that are happening right now. And when you can start visualizing to the point that you can feel as though you are already in that position, guess what's going to happen, right? You're now going to train your body, that 95% of unconscious throughout the entire day, to basically pull itself to that opportunity, to that goal, to that vision that you guys have set for yourselves. I hope that this is making sense. Evan says, I had to be led to this stream today. Not a coincidence. Nothing's a coincidence, Evan.
Exactly.
So what do you feel then, Chris? What's the most effective way for people to be able to feel themselves out of any situation?
So it may not be for everybody, but I like to meditate. I also do sleep meditation as well.
Yeah.
So sleep meditation is so powerful. Put a meditation on when you go to sleep. Put some sleep hypnosis on when you go to sleep. It goes into your subconscious. It goes into your subconscious directly. And not only do you feel amazing when you wake up, but what you believed that night before, you don't have any recollection of it even going on. And that's the difference in which, if you do that constantly, because I'm not saying this is a quick fix at all. No. This is not a quick fix at all. You have to repeat this. Everything is repeated. And I truly understand that when you program yourself and begin to reprogram yourself in the way in which from basically going, oh, nothing's going my way, to I am feeling that everything is going my way. I'm going and I have got what I want right now. Because in every single time you put that meditation on, in the morning, you're going to feel free. So that's one way. I do affirm myself quite a bit.
You do what?
Affirmations. Affirm myself. Affirmations.
Oh, okay.
I do affirmations. I think everybody knows about affirmations, so I won't go into it. What else do I do? Blimey, I do some journaling. I love writing. I do love writing quite a lot, especially my journal, how my day's been, what's been going on.
No, I want to ask you about that. Yeah, because I've heard that a lot, right? Like a lot of successful people out there always say that they journal about their day. So I want to ask you about that, because there's a lot of people that say we have over like 60,000 thoughts throughout the day, right? So there's not a way for us. Yeah, see, right? So there's not a way for us to be able to track every single thought throughout the day. So you honestly 100% say that it helps for you to get all of that information out of your head and onto paper.
Definitely, especially when you feel that you cannot talk to somebody, or you feel that you need to get something out that's probably quite too personal. Maybe you don't really have many people to talk to. Having a journal is quite a personal thing, but something you can truly express yourself in a way that can be quite poetic.
Yeah.
It's quite a poetic thing to do. And it's something that I do really honor myself in doing.
Yeah.
It's quite powerful as well. I have to admit, it's quite powerful, because when you've taken everything out of your body and onto paper, you're already putting the energy out there.
Yes. That's exactly what I was going to say. You're exactly putting the energy out there. You're putting more focus into it rather than it just being like a random thought that may pass throughout the day. oh, like I really liked that I did so and so today, and I would really like this to happen in the future. That is a single second that you probably thought that thought, guys. But when you spend 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes just writing, you're putting that full focus, that full energy into actually attracting, right? And you keep saying the law of attraction, attracting what it is that you truly want inside of your life. Man, I just love that. I love that you said journaling. One thing that I want to say on that is too, guys, there's this quote that says, it's not really a goal until you've gotten it out of your head and onto paper, right? It's not technically a goal until you get it out of your head and onto paper. We have 60,000 thoughts a day, right? I probably have like 30 different ideas that run through my head every single day, and they're all different, right? But the only ones that really matter are the ones that I'm actually writing down and planning out. So do it, guys. Go ahead.
Also, something else I want to add is keep questioning yourself.
Oh, okay.
Right? Keep questioning yourself. Question the things that may be good for you that may not be good for you. Because if you don't ask yourself those questions, you'll never have the answer. Write them down. Explain how you can find a solution. If you're going through something right now that may be personal, that may be a bit more technical, a bit more complicated, write down the question. How can I find a solution to this? How can I find the solution? And then your mind will instantly put you into the state of, that's it. That's the solution. That's right for me.
Asking the right questions. Tony Robbins says that all the time. Ask the right questions, guys. So instead of you freaking out and being like, man, why do I have to think this? Why do I have to go through this situation? Write down what the situation is. Because oftentimes we're freaking out and really kind of making the situation way bigger inside of our minds than it really is, right? So when you write it down, you're on paper, you're like, wow, the situation really isn't even that bad. And when you can ask yourself, your mind, right? Your mind, the question, like, how can I solve this situation? It's just going to automatically go and fetch that data for you. Evan says, meditation is a powerful way, especially when you wake up.
Yes.
So you do your meditations in the morning?
I have done previously. I do it whenever I feel I have any form of anxiety coming through. You know, it may not, it's something that I have to feel. It is a daily practice, but it's something that I really have to feel. Like today is a really good day. Today I woke up, no anxiety, nothing. I've been feeling amazing. So I feel that I'm within myself. I'm actually happy within myself, and I can move forward with the day. I have no stresses. Life is amazing. Life's good. I'm in that state of just like, this is what's happening right now. This is what's happening right now. And the opportunities are coming to me because I'm in that state. And every single time I find myself getting out of myself, I take myself away.
Yeah.
I take myself away. I even go for a walk. I put on an audiobook as well. Go out for a walk, put on an audiobook, get into nature. I even go
get yourself into a different state.
Exactly. Change your environment. Changing your environment as well. If you've got a chaotic environment around you and you need some peace, for you to actually get into the state of, this opportunity is something that I really need to do, then you need to get yourself into a different environment. A library, go to the park, sit on a bench, listen to an audiobook. You know, your own personal, your self-care is important.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Your self-care is important, but don't get it to the fact that you become so self-obsessed that nothing else matters in the world, right?
It's that balance.
Because that can be, it is that balance. Because you have to have that balance. And if you don't have that balance with understanding, like, what is it? Like, what is the problem, right? You will then go out to that walk. You'll then go sit back and you'll be like, right, I've actually found a solution, because I've been able to. You cannot decide things when you're in a state of worry, state of anxiety, state of low vibration, low energy, because you're just draining yourself as well.
Amen to that. I love it. So guys, figure out what works best for you. Evan says, and we can only think one thing at a time. That's true, right? Our mind may do it very quickly, right? Like in a split second, we may think like 12,000 thoughts at once, right? I'm being over exaggerating on that, of course, guys, but we could think like 1,000 thoughts in 1 second, right? But they're switching back and forth. It's not like we're thinking of all of them at the same time, unless we're writing it down, right? Because we're putting our full focus into just one thing. So again, guys, the biggest thing that I want to say when we hop off is just figure out what works best for you, right? Chris likes to meditate. He likes to journal. He likes to do affirmations, right? Maybe you don't like affirmations. Maybe you think they're hocus pocus, right? I used to think that before I started doing them, and maybe it doesn't work for you, right? But find what works best for you. One thing that helped me was mirror exercises. I always had a really hard time with that self-worth, that self-love. So every single morning I would get up in the morning, and whether I was feeling crappy or not, I would force myself to get in the habit of looking in the mirror and naming at least 3 to 5 things that I loved about myself. And that alone always got me into a high level state throughout the day, right? So it could be something as simple as that. It could be something as simple as turning on music and dancing around your room for 5 minutes just to get you out of that state. But the important thing is find something that's different from where you are at right now. If you're frustrated, you're ticked off, you're depressed right now, get out of that state and then start asking the questions. Because if you start asking yourself questions while you're in that depressed state, what's going to happen is it's only going to give you depressed answers, right? You're going to be asking questions like, why am I so depressed? Instead of, how can I help myself get out of that? So, Chris, is there anything else that you want to say before we jump off here?
I think if you're going through anything right now, and if you've gotten some value from anything that we've said, then please do practice it. Please get your notepad and pen, jot it down, because practicing these things isn't going to be a quick fix, right? It's not going to be a quick fix. Nothing in life is a quick fix. Going through tough times are probably some of the hardest times you're going to have, especially in this current situation, current circumstances in which we are all going through. And I want you guys to really understand that there are people out there. You know, if ever there are times where you feel you need to get something off your chest, talk to somebody that you trust. Talk to somebody you trust, and really get into that state of, as much as I feel like this opportunity is not going to come to me, or something is not going to come to me, or that maybe the money, maybe the business, maybe the clients, maybe it could be anything. Whatever it is that you feel that may not be coming to you, think in that state in which it will, and feel yourself in that state. Because the more you feel, the more you'll come out, the more your energy will come out, the more you'll actually be there for people. Even though you're going through something, people will come to you. People will come to you because they feel your energy.
Amen to that. I love it. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, so seriously, practice, right? If you feel like, if any of this hit you, right? If you got a little bit of chills, maybe something hit you in the heart, maybe it just resonated with you and you don't know why, just practice it a little bit, right? It only takes like maybe 5 minutes throughout the day. That's not going to ruin your entire day. Take a little bit of 5 minutes and do it for a week, right? You're going to notice those small changes just within a week's period of time, as long as you are consistent with it. That is the real key. You have to be consistent and do it every day, because again, like Chris said, it's not an overnight fix. So guys, we appreciate you again for being on today's video and today's live. If you are listening to this on my YouTube channel, go ahead and head over to anchor.fm/Dacia Hinks to listen to the podcast version. And right below this video, you should be able to see all of the contact information for Chris. So follow him on YouTube, follow him on Facebook, follow him on Instagram, follow on all of that, because here in a few years, you're going to see him all over the place. All right, Chris, thank you again for being on here with me today. I hope you have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye for now, guys.